Heavy Podcast, hosted by Craig Casares. I kind of got into this thing earlier today with somebody posted something about
the Rogan thing.
Yeah. It was because the first time I heard it is Joe Rogan is the Oprah Winfrey for men.
Right. Which is very funny.
But
it is true.
It is funny.
It's true.
But it's true.
It is true. Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey sets up the O channel and her magazines and everything she does. She sets up to lift women up.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I think it's an awesome thing. That's what she does. And it is amazing. And then I listen to Joe, and what he does for me, and I think a lot of the men around me is he gives us inspirational ideas and things to do as men that we need to do to lift ourselves up. You know, we're two fat fucks sitting next to each other, but diet, exercise, discipline, take care of the people around you, work with the people around you. Like, I watch what he does and what he's doing and how he raises everything, and he works with the people around him to lift everybody up. And I think Oprah does the same thing.
And he built an empire by not stepping on the heads of people around him.
Right. Yeah.
He built up the whole entire comedy community around him. There's even in that fucking comedy documentary when they talk, there's a whole fucking episode dedicated when Rogan came back to the Comedy Store, and it changed fucking everything, because he came in with the mentality that this isn't a war between a very few spots for a very few people. This is everyone building everyone up. High tides raise all ships. And that the reason the Comedy Store was as big as it was is because he had someone like Rogan there championing people that needed to be championed, right?
Yes.
Whereas, you know, the war with Carlos Mencia and all that shit where he's just stomping on people.
Shitbag.
Yeah. And I mean, I mean, for me, I'm just like you. I've listened to a lot of Rogan. We've had conversations about, you know, listening to Rogan, but here's the thing, like,
you know,
when you really listen to a full episode, I'm interested in a perspective. I'm interested in other opinions. And what it does for me is that I have my own opinions on shit. It's very rare that Rogan influences my opinion to where I'm dead set on something, but it will add strength to my opinion, because I hear something I don't agree with and I go, well, let me think about it and think about why I disagree, or why I maybe am fucking wrong about that, right? Besides the vaccines, besides all that other bullshit, which the Neil Young thing to me is so ridiculous, because I don't know if you just saw that fucking Neil Young, 2 days after he pulled him shit on Spotify, just did a massive deal with Amazon Music. Massive fucking deal with Amazon, dude. A massive deal. Now they're offering Amazon Music for 4 months for free. You know what I mean? Like,
what the fuck?
So what the fuck? Neil Young went all rogue. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
Then goes straight to the next worst fucking motherfucker.
Yes.
Right. You know what I mean? Like
the company piece of shit.
The company that is destroying this fucking country. And now he's going to work a massive deal with Amazon Music. Yeah. So, okay, fuck you then, Neil Young. Like, Mr. 60, stand up for your shit.
I didn't like him to begin with.
I mean, that's fine.
Quick,
but it's
before we overrun this shit, me and you just fucking man loving each other. How do you, like, what do you?
Well, it's interesting that you would say that, because I think, and I'm not an Oprah, I don't even watch Oprah at all, but she did what mental health did for your comedy. Joe Rogan did for comedy is Oprah Winfrey did for mental health, because she brought in Dr. Phil. She has Super Soul Sundays. She does like a whole lot of like, get your shit right.
Yeah, totally.
And I think for women, that's just as important as your rigorous exercise and lifting up.
But how do you feel about the Rogan thing?
Craig,
like,
hold on 1 second.
Go ahead.
So Rosie, like, everybody right now, with the biggest thing, especially me and him being, you know, obviously toxic masculinity men and stuff, and like, that is obviously who we are. So
there's
but like, what I would like to see is the same thing I would like to see along the party lines, is instead of everybody going, oh, Oprah, which I've done for years, and then when somebody says shit about Joe, I'm like, man, come on, you guys know what the fuck you're talking about, man. You know, like you guys aren't listening to him. You obviously are not paying attention. You don't see the diversity that he brings onto his podcast. You don't hear the different people. He's talking to people that are like, just like one of the scientists that he talked to has over 250 written dissertations.
He's the most published scientist in the history of the world.
I think we listened
That's-
to that one.
yeah.
No,
Like
that was
the-
Robert,
oh.
whatever his name is. This is
Okay.
Dr. Peter McCullough.
So my
Right.
thing is with this is like, it goes back to everything. It goes back to Biden. It goes back to Trump. It goes back to all this stuff. Is like, why can't we just go, okay, Oprah works for this and Joe works for
Demographic.
this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so, hey man, you guys should probably listen to Joe Rogan. If you guys don't enjoy Oprah and you're more connected with Joe, listen to Joe. Instead of criticizing, let's all get together on the same thing. And then let's start lifting each other all up instead of, you know, I've joked around and talked shit about Oprah a lot because it's not about us. It's not about me and him in any way, shape, or form. It's about uplifting women. And it's a beautiful thing, but I'm still going to joke,
Right.
you know, but she does a lot.
I honestly, in all honesty, and I work with kids too.
Right.
People don't have the attention span to
Right.
like stay with somebody. They just see the headline. They don't even read the article anymore.
Right.
I like,
Rosie's an avid reader of
I-
articles. Dude,
I literally,
she reads the whole motherfucker.
and then I look up
the
other
whole fucking thing,
corresponding
yeah.
articles. I don't think people care.
Right. They see the
anymore.
headline,
No, they
they
don't.
see the clip, and then
They
they
And
go.
they
You know
don't
what I mean?
care
Yeah.
to like research or look or even have like a big idea about that. And I think the pretty face makes the, you know, the thing. And we might be fucked.
Joe
We
Rogan,
we might
Joe
be
Rogan
fucked
and
or what.
Oprah Winfrey, neither one of them are
yeah,
pretty.
No,
It
yeah,
is
we're-
not,
we might
neither
be-
one of them are,
and we're
you
fucked
know.
right now. Joe Biden's,
Yeah.
he's
they're politicians. They don't
Yeah.
They're
care.
all they're all
he's a
awful.
lifelong
Yeah.
politician that
Yeah.
a long time ago was articulate but he still even then wasn't the best person to put in the front row.
Is he best now?
No, not
No.
even kind of close, man.
Yeah.
But then all the good candidates that were possible, the DNC and everybody around that
Yeah,
pays
iced
them,
them.
made sure that they paid
Yeah.
them off.
Mhm.
I mean, everything that we're going through right now with COVID, it all goes back to who's getting paid. All of
yeah.
it, you
Follow
know
the
what I
money.
mean?
It's the
Oh.
first rule of journalism, right?
Yeah.
Don't
Follow-
follow this, but I work at a district program too. I see the divide already,
Right,
even in
right.
the smaller system. But yeah,
Right. It's
Well, I
it's
mean, the-
fucked
the-
any way you go.
Education and higher education and getting into all that stuff it's one of the saddest things that's happened to America on a whole. Like instead of it being like where it was where Cheech and Chong and George Carlin would go do comedy sets and people would come to listen to a diverse joke and comedy sketch and something about like a culture. You know what I mean? Like Cheech and Chong didn't just say jokes for jokes. There's a lot of culture in what they were saying, whether it's the hippie culture or the Hispanic culture or the whatever it was. They brought something to this, you know, and George Carlin, same thing. You know, he brought a political aspect and brought stuff that would make people believe.
Right.
Nobody does those circuits anymore because the teachers are running the narrative or the students are running a narrative that is just blind. It's not even,
well,
you know,
and I mean, honestly, we're in like a culture where you can't say anything anymore, like without being
Mhm.
held accountable for every single word you say, whether your intention is good or bad, whether it's even understood as that
Right.
anymore. Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing that it goes back to when you see all these clips and the fucking controversy around people saying stuff or whatever. If you really listen to a full episode, you know, of Rogan or anyone has any sort of controversial thing, if you listen to the full fucking thing, you can see that there's context to the conversation. You can see that there's nuance, there's exploitation. They want people, you know what I mean? Like he's the most curious person I've ever experienced. You know, he wants to hear from everyone. And that goes for, I think it goes against the grain of what a lot of people in this world are. A lot of people want to hear the headline and make their decision and be done. And then they can fight online, right? You know, I saw you post a thing today and I was like, ooh, here we go. I never do that anymore. You know what I mean?
I
Because
couldn't help
Nothing's ever solved. You know what I mean?
No.
And you didn't have a bad exchange at all. It was like an exchange of ideas, and it was fine. But
you notice what I said when I
Right.
posted one of the things that I put in there when I was saying what I was saying, and then was like, hey, look, I know that most of you haven't even taken the time out
right.
to listen to his podcast, and you guys are going off of whatever short form media
Right.
you guys are listening to. And I'm not saying that it's all of you guys. I'm just saying that I'm sure that most of you guys have never listened to him, and you're just going off of the meathead UFC commentator.
Could be, yeah.
It's
yeah.
But that's why I tried really hard to make sure that I put it in there so that I was able to quickly go like, this is what I meant. When they start attacking.
Right.
This is,
it's hard, man. I know, but just the second I found out that Neil Young had struck a massive deal with Amazon today.
It's yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
I had a guy hit me up. It was sending me all sorts of links. Like, dude, check this out. Check this out. And I'm like, okay, man. So this whole political fucking mumbo jumbo is literally because Neil Young had previously bitched about the quality of the sound on Spotify, the lack of pay, which is a massive a real issue for Spotify and streaming services, for artists to get paid, for comedians to get paid, all that shit. Absolutely legit. But then for you to fucking ban yourself from Spotify and then make a massive deal with fucking Jeff Bezos, like, it's like, hey man, I work for Walmart now. Fuck Target. You know what I mean? You're like,
yeah,
okay, dude. Like, yeah, fine. You and Joni Mitchell, go have fun, dude.
So, but then it goes back to now, a lot of these people that are listening to Joe or listen to Neil Young and listen to Joni Mitchell, they're blindly, without research, going to go, oh yeah. They never listen to Spotify to begin with.
Right. Spotify's lost like $1 billion in their stocks over the last fucking week, but
they'll gain it back.
I was very stoked to see that Spotify is going to take a stance and be like, no, dude, we're not dropping it.
Because they know they're going to get it. It's not,
it's all going to come back.
It's going to come back.
That's wild.
Elon smoked a joint. What did the stock drop? It came right back.
Dropped like 6 points, went up 9 like 3 days later.
Yeah.